What's up, everybody? John Sharmiho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an Arsenal inventory update to do for you guys. Vinyl this time, and this is my first proper collection update video of 2019, and I'm going to be running down some really top quality extreme music to run through here through this video, including some very necessary represses of some classic and contemporary metal albums. But first, what we are listening to in the background, Emptiness, Nothing But the Hole. This band deserves way more love and appreciation than what I feel they are already getting. This band has made a change into a new sort of extreme, dark, gothic sort of sound for them, and I think it really sounds fantastic. I mean, Not For Music is still an amazing album, but this one before it, with Nothing But the Hole, still fucking awesome. I definitely would recommend everybody checking this one out. Alright, before I get into the represses, let's talk about some extreme music that I feel a lot of people haven't really talked about much. And this first record is of an album that has gotten a lot of critical acclaim, and I think the critical acclaim is quite justified. This is Occulta with Night Without End. Yeah. This is their debut full-length from 2017, and this is the vinyl version put out through Electric Assault Records. And if you're not familiar with Occulta, they are a doomy style of black metal based out of Berlin, Germany. And this band has a very aggressive, raw, old guard sort of edge to them. I feel like if you put out something like this in the mid 90s, and I mean this came out in 2017, but I swear you'd have heard something like this probably in the mid 90s. That's the type of flair I feel comes with a release like Night Without End. Songs like Eyes in Darkness, Sculptures Made of Cursed Visions, Merciless Hammer, just some absolutely killer songs to be heard on this album. I mean, the riffs are what keep every single song in tow and sound good. The drum work is fantastic. I like the pacing. I love the vocals. I just love how genuinely evil and rocking this album is. This is some evil rock and roll shit going on here with this album, but a band like Occulta embodied the spirit of black metal very well and very nicely here. And honestly, if you have not heard this album, I would recommend you find a way to get a hold of this and listen to it. I think it is worth your time and efforts. But anyway, here's the front cover. Really cool album cover. Love the band name, love the artwork. Back cover here, track listing. There you see the band members in question here. Very rowdy little photo here. Love the blood adorning their leather and all that other shit. It's pretty rowdy stuff. But yeah, it comes with this huge fold-out newspaper sort of poster here. I'm not going to fold it all the way out because I want to make sure I'm not tearing anything. But yeah, it's a newspaper style poster. It has lyrics and credits for all the songs on here, which I think is pretty nice. And I think they all come on a standard black vinyl. Pretty old school style center labelings, and I like what both the A and B sides have. I don't know if you're able to read that, but it says, "This record was made to be played loud." Absolutely cool. I love that touch about this record. It's really nice. Yeah, but yeah, if you like mid-paced, doomy, rocking sort of black metal, I definitely would recommend Night Without End by Occulta. This is a very good full length. From Germany, we moved to H-Town for probably one of the best grindcore bands to come out from that city. This is Cryptic Void with Into the Desert Temple. Yeah. This is their debut full-length album from 2017, released through the very reliable RSR Records, Regurgitated Semen Records, whatever the hell you want to call it. But yeah, very extremely reliable grindcore label. And this is a band that has been making a name for themselves quite well throughout the years. They have been putting in a lot of consistent hard work and detail with their music, whether it be putting out demos or EPs, or compilations or just playing live. This band has a very, very strong live sound and outfit. I had the pleasure of getting to see these guys live last year. Very, very good stuff, and listening to this album, you definitely can tell there's a little bit of a modern sort of vibe and flair going for it in terms of their musical delivery, their vocal style, the riffs, the drumming. I mean, this is a very much a grindcore record to the T. I think this album is only like 17 minutes long, but yet I think you get the most out of everything with all of these songs that are on here, like the title track, Subterranean Vaults of Their Mysteries, Mastery and Power, Instrument of Desolation, Universal Retribution. Just some seriously killer songs on here. It's 15 tracks deep, but you get your money's worth with every single track that's on here. But yeah, if you haven't heard CRYPTIC Void, I definitely would recommend you guys check them out. They are a very, very good grindcore band out of Texas, and the best is still yet to come from them. But anyway, here's the front cover. Love this album cover art. Love the logo for this band. Absolutely killer logo. Back cover with track listings. Of course, there's RSR Records right there. Comes with a lyric sheet with lyrics for all the tracks in question. Actually, this isn't lyrics. It's pretty much like a concept. It reads off like what this album is about and all that sort of stuff. And then you have the track listing and the band members in question. Yeah, very, very nice touches going on here with this release. And this came on a nice black vinyl. Yeah. Very simplistic labels going on here. Side A, Side B. Very good stuff. But yeah, if you are into contemporary sort of grindcore, a band like CRYPTIC Void will definitely scratch that itch for you. Yeah, I hope I can get a chance to see these guys live again. They're really good dudes, and I definitely think they deserve the best. But yeah, CRYPTIC Void, Into the Desert Temple. Definitely check this one out. This next one is a really, really top-notch album. This also came out in 2017, but I definitely think more people need to be paying attention to this one. This is Ledge with Cold, Hard, Concrete. Yeah. This also came out in 2017, and this was released through Translation Lost Records. And if you're not familiar with Ledge, this is pretty much the solo project of one John Hoffman. You probably know John Hoffman best for his role as the vocalist of probably one of the most popular and notable power violence bands to have ever existed with Weekend Nachos. This pretty much primarily feels like this is his solo work because he plays the vocals, the drums, and the bass on this release. There's someone on this album doing guitar for him, but yeah, this feels like the love child of John Hoffman more than anything. And this album has some really, really dark and evil sort of sludgy, hardcore, and power violence vibes going for it. And this is genuinely evil and hateful sounding stuff, and I wouldn't expect anything less out of anything John Hoffman does. But this Ledge release is absolutely killer. I mean, listening to songs like Through Your Skull, You Know Who You Are, Fuck Yourself, Last Shred of Hope, just some really, really great songs, great songwriting, awesome lyrics, great riffs, drum work. John's vocals are still as awesome as ever before. A lot of killer riffs, a lot of creative songwriting, but yeah, this is an impressive full-length album, and if you are into anything that John Hoffman has ever done in the past, I would definitely recommend that you check this one album out. But anyway, here's the front cover. Very simplistic sort of album cover on here. Love this photography. Back cover with track listing and credits. Comes with a fold-out poster / lyric sheet. I don't know if you're able to see that. You see the 2 feet on the ledge of the building. Yeah, very, very captivating sort of photography going on here. There you have the opposite side. You have track listings and credits and lyrics. There you see the 2 principal band members involved. This also comes with a download code, but if you want that download code, like I always say, buy the album yourself and get the code for yourself that way. And I believe this is limited to 300 copies, and I believe they all come on this really, really unique sort of vinyl color. It's like an oxblood red inside milky clear vinyl color. Very, very good quality put on this. Translation Lost always does fantastic work with their vinyl with musical presentations, and yet this is no different. Very, very sick color, very good sound quality on this. But yeah, if you're into anything John Hoffman has done, if you like Weekend Nachos, if you like sludge, power violence, hardcore, all that type of shit, I would recommend Ledge, Cold Hard Concrete. Very, very good stuff. And now we get on into the next half of this video, and that is represses and reissues. Yeah. Now, I try not to be that type of music collector that tries to buy more than one copy of the same album, but in some certain cases and instances, I feel that it's necessary to do it because there are certain things that stand out or feel a little bit more right and in tune than what you had already bought. And these three particular records I own vinyl copies of, but these versions in particular are something quite different and special. And no, I'm not parting ways with the copies I already have. Nothing in my collection is for sale and never will be. But yeah, this first one is from the Crypt, and this is probably one of the best Texas metal debuts to have ever existed. This is Absu with Barathrum, Visita Interiora Terrae Rectificando Invinis Occultum Lipidum, or Barathrum Vitriol for short. Yeah, this was originally released in 1993 on Gothic Records and Osmos Productions, and this is the 2018 reissue through the Crypt, and this is pretty much the 25th anniversary of this full-length album's release. Yeah. Of course, if you don't know Absu, they are based out of Dallas, Texas, and they had a very, very intriguing and interesting sort of career highlights. In the early stages of this band's existence, there were two bands that's pretty much represented what Absu would soon become, Dolmen and Magus. And then all those projects pretty much dissolved, and then we got Absu, and we got a whole bunch of demos and songs that pretty much represented what this band would soon become. They had that really dark, black death metal sort of sound going for them, and all of that came to a head with their debut full-length Barathrum Vitriol. And 25 plus years later, this album still holds up very, very well with the lineup that Absu had at the time. Just some seriously killer songs on here. It's only a 7-track long album, but you're going to get the most out of everything with this particular Absu album. Descent to Acheron, The Thrice's Greatest to Ninagal, Fantasizing to the Third of the Pagan Vision. Just some seriously tongue-twisting sort of stuff going on here with this album in terms of songwriting, lyric writing, and musicianship. It's all fantastic. The early stages of how Prescriptor would then become from the frontman to the frontman and drummer. It's just really, really crazy stuff. But yeah, I fucking love Absu, and I especially love this album. Of course, later on in this band's existence, Terra would be my favorite album of theirs, but this album's debut still holds up very, very well here. But anyway, here's the front cover. This is what drew me to the repress, is the fact that they put this album cover art on the jacket. There was some very, very nice detailed artwork when this was released on vinyl through the Crypt many years ago, but I fucking love this album cover. This is very iconic, very legendary, and of course the classic Absu logo. Back cover, you got another band photo here, credits, track listings. As you can see, this is a three-way sort of release. Osmos, High Roller Records, and the Crypt. Gatefold, you have another badass band photo here. And on this side you have the lyrics and credits, thanks list, all that other stuff. And I believe this is limited to 500 copies, and the version I got is limited to 100, and this comes on this very nice red inside clear smoke vinyl. Very, very top quality vinyl put here through the Crypt. You can see side B, you have the album cover for Barathrum Vitriol on this side. Very, very neat. Good quality as to be expected from the Crypt. And yeah, if you have not heard the early beginnings of Absu, I would definitely recommend that you get a hold of listening to Bathroom Vitriol. This is a classic Absu record, and it still holds up almost 25 years later. But yeah, Bathroom Vitriol by Absu, check this one out. Alright. This next one is of probably one of my favorite death metal albums from 2011, and of course this was my favorite death metal album of 2011. Things have been slowly panning out for this band throughout the years, but hopefully in due time things will get better and stronger. This is Disma with Towards the Megalith. Yeah. This was released in 2011 through Profound Lore Records, and originally this was put out on vinyl through Dementia Records, and this is the label Profound Lore Records' own pressing of this album in 2018. But yeah, I'm not going to say too much than what I've already said in the past about this album before. This is, of course, their debut full-length album. Very mystical fantasy style of death metal in terms of songwriting, lyric writing, vocal work. Of course, you know this album had Craig Pillard, who you may know best for his work with projects such as Disciples of Mockery, and of course his work on the first couple of Incantation records. Just a very legendary sort of career that dude had, and his vocal work on Towards the Megalith is something that made Towards the Megalith stand out so well. It sounded so deep, so roaring, so nasty. I love his vocal work on this album, but let me also say that the music is something that makes Disma sound so special. I really don't care if they become another death metal band, but Disma's music is fucking killer. Bill Venner and Daryl Cahan did some incredible guitar work for this record. The drum work is solid, the bass work is solid, the production is solid, and I may as well get the whole thing out of the room here. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this by now, but Disma parted ways with Craig Pillard, left the band on amicable terms. There was no bad blood or anything like that. But of course, being as we have entered a new year and the climate's a little weird, people have different sorts of feelings about it. People are confused, people are disappointed, people are pretty much outright butthurt over this thing, and I will say that I really am looking forward to hearing what Disma does next. I look forward to hearing who they replace Craig Pillard with, if they find somebody that can match his distinctive vocal style, because he's not an easy vocalist to replace, but Disma still have to keep going forward. This, in any way, shape, or form, is Bill Venner's band. This is his band. It's not Craig Pillard's band. It's Bill Venner's band, and that's all that really needs to be said about that. I still love Disma. I still support Disma, and I will continue supporting Disma for as long as they want to keep on going. But anyway, here's the front cover. Of course, you recognize this very beautiful album cover art here. The Dementia Records version had a glossy sort of jacket. This is more of a standard LP jacket. Back cover with track listings. There you see the classic Profound Lore Records logo here. Very nice gatefold, very similar to the original pressing. Very good quality on here. Of course, if I show you the opposite side, you have this full badass album cover art here. Very cool. But yeah, comes with a lyric sheet. There you have credits for everything on one side, and then you have lyrics for all of the tracks on the other side. And I believe this vinyl pressing is limited to 500 copies. I don't know if it's 500 copies or not, but yeah, there were 3 different color variants: clear, green merge. The last pressing I had was an orange and red sort of merge, but I wanted to get something that seemed to be color accurate to the cover. And we have this green with black and white splatter. Looks absolutely beautiful. Great quality on this. Still sounds as heavy and as massive as the original vinyl pressing does. And yeah, Profound Lore did a bang-up job with this. But yeah, some of y'all need to calm down. Some of you guys need to quit overreacting and posing and all that other shit. Disma are going to be just fine. Disma are going to keep doing what they know how to do, make great music like they know how to do, regardless of who sings for them. Disma will still remain the great band that I've always known them to be. But yeah, Towards the Megalith by Disma. Go check this one out. And last but not least, we have a 2018 release of some classic thrash metal from the 80s. This is Whiplash with Power and Pain. Yeah. The last time I talked about this record, I had shown and talked to you about was somewhat of a fan-made bootleg. Very much identical to the original pressing from Roadrunner back in the 1980s. Of course, that album was released in 1986, but this is the 2018 repress, 2017 repress through Wax Maniacs. And Wax Maniacs have been long consistent in putting out some really killer thrash metal reissues, more notably from bands such as Violence and Sodom. But yeah, I'm glad that this got an official repress, a band-approved repress, and I won't get into too much details like I said previously. This is, in my opinion, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, thrash metal album of all time. This is King Fowley's personal favorite thrash metal album of all time. That shows you how much of a big deal this album is. But yeah, it still holds up very well here. The three Tonys, Tony Pataro, Tony Scaglione, and Tony Bono, putting together a great full-length album. Stage Dive, Last Man Alive, Warmonger, Power Thrashing Death, Nailed to the Cross. Absolutely legendary songs, played very well, and they still hold up almost 30 plus years later. This is an absolutely classic album. But anyway, here's the front cover. Iconic album cover art, very legendary quality here. Back cover, as you can see, this is Wax Maniacs. That way you can tell who put this reissue out. Comes with a lyric sheet / interview. Yeah, you got lyrics on this side, photo collages and interviews. Very much high attention to detail. And I believe that this version that I got was limited to 100 copies. I got this from Dark Descent Records in the United States. And this came on a very nice, heavyweight blue vinyl. Light blue, sky blue vinyl. Yeah, there you can see the Wax Maniacs logo done in the old Roadrunner, Road Racer sort of style, which I think is very nice. Very fitting tribute to what this band put out back in the day. But yeah, one of the greatest thrash metal albums of all time, still holds up very nicely and very well. But yeah, Whiplash, Power and Pain, and check this one out. And with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. I'm going to leave you some links in the description box of some of the bands I talked to you about here. If you happen to have heard or own any of these releases, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and we can go from there. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Miho out.